Welcome and thank you for listening to the Abu Dhabi Transparency House. We are here with Melvin. You are representing Ibis Power. Can you maybe tell us more about Ibis Power?
Yes, of course. Thank you so much for having me. It's good to be at the Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week. I'm indeed here to represent Ibis Power. Ibis Power is a company from the Netherlands, an innovative company that has one product which we call PowerNest. And PowerNest is an innovation which combines solar panels with wind energy on top of high-rise buildings.
Hence the word nest, probably.
Exactly, PowerNest, because it's on top generating power.
So, to be honest, there's already a lot of companies that do solar panels. There's a lot of companies that do wind, although I don't know many companies that do it on top of high-rise buildings. But what makes this so special?
Right. There's indeed a lot of stuff happening in terms of solar. Many companies get very innovative with what they can do with solar. But what you see is, especially on high-rise buildings, the roof is usually utilized for air conditioning units or service entrances. Basically, it's occupied. With standard solar application, you can use 30 to 40% of the roof surface to put solar panels, and that's it. You're not generating nearly enough to power the building.
So there's a limited amount of space.
Exactly.
Yep.
So with PowerNest, we elevate the entire unit. So all the solar panels are on top, and we can use 110% of the roof surface because we're extending over the edge of the building. And at the same time, we're able to put a wind turbine underneath it, generating wind power 24/7, with, during the day, of course, support from solar power generation.
Okay, so basically you build a structure which is probably customized to the building that you have in mind. And this structure is facilitating both the solar panels and the wind turbines.
Yes, so we've built a structure which consists of louvres as well. It's a frame which is modular, so based on the building size we can put one turbine, two turbines or more, however much space there is, how big the roof is. And these louvre frames that are on the structure, they create a Venturi effect for the wind turbine, which means that the wind speed is accelerated once the wind passes through the louvre frames. And once that happens, the wind turbine will start to spin. Now, usually a turbine needs quite a bit of wind, to start generating energy. But because of this Venturi acceleration, it starts generating power from only 2 meters of wind per second, which in most places on our planet is definitely the case on a consistent basis.
Yeah. Can I also, I'm thinking that if you place it on top of the roof, there's a lot of machinery there. Next to the side that you don't want it in the way, do you also power directly the ACs or any other equipment that's there?
Yeah, so the idea is of course to create decentralized energy production by powering it on top of the building and using it within the building. You eliminate the need for the grid to supply more energy demand. And especially in the future, when we're going to have more electric cars, the demand for each building will go up, meaning that you would have to increase the strength of the grid to support this. And by having an innovation that really can supply a substantial amount, such as PowerNest, you can alleviate the need to improve the standard electric network.
Yeah. So you have a sustainable power source, you have a building that is actually using it. You said it was modular, but how do you get it on top of there?
So it's a structure that's made out of several elements. Of course, it doesn't come as a one-piece package. It's built up from different aspects. So you've got the frames, you've got the turbine, you've got the solar panels, and since it's modular, it's literally like a Lego set. So you've got your roof, and you will build the structure piece by piece, and can be done quite quickly and efficiently because it's such a modular concept, which is plug and play basically.
So do I need a crane to install it?
Yes. You need a crane to lift the PowerNest on top of a building, and you can use a modular crane for that for existing buildings, or for buildings that are under construction. You can do it, of course, during construction with the crane that's there. And if you want to be a bit like futuristic, a bit more exciting, if you have a current building that's quite high, you can do it by helicopter.
Okay. So it doesn't weigh that much, you might say.
Yeah, it can be carried by a helicopter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So interesting. You have is it a unique solution, or are there many parties that also combine these two types?
No, it's a unique solution. It's patented innovation. from Ibis Power, and over the past years they've won over 40 awards globally to acknowledge that it's a really unique solution that cannot easily be replicated. So yeah.
Okay, so do you also have it in place? Do you have proven technology?
Yeah, by now it's a proven technology. It's been like 8 years of research behind it, and in the Netherlands they've got a couple of units operational at the moment, and they're rapidly expanding since 2019, and definitely in the next years as well. Yeah.
You actually work with globally, I understand, right?
Yes.
So this is a representation only. Do you think in this region where Globally is now located, do you think there's a lot of traction to get this in place? Is it already in place?
It's not in place yet, but I definitely think there's a high potential here, considering that there's a lot of high rise, and there is wind, which in the UAE, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but in the UAE people think that there isn't any wind. But based on research that we did, the average wind speed in Dubai and in Abu Dhabi is between 6 and 7 meters per second. And like I said, from 2 meters a second it starts generating. So there is sufficient wind to do it here. And based on our study, 40% of all buildings that are currently in the UAE are suitable for a power nest. So I think there's a huge potential in this market, yes.
So then that's a good opportunity, of course, but maybe some buildings already have solar panels in place.
Right. That might be the case, and then of course it would be reinvestment. But I think there are so many buildings that don't have any solar panels at the moment, especially when, I don't know if you ever looked from a helicopter or from other footage that you have from drones, but there's barely any buildings with lots of solar panels. Only large sort of malls might have it, but yeah, high rise, not so much.
So you're focusing on the high rise. I can also imagine remote places like mining sites or offshore platforms. They can also make use of this technology?
Yeah, they could. Yeah. It's, the only thing that matters is that you've got some height to catch the wind most optimally. And you can do it in a desert where you need less height. And in the city, of course, you need a bit more height.
Yeah. So how scalable is this? Can you foresee that the entire area of Abu Dhabi is going to make this transfer? Or?
That would be the dream, I would say. The goal is really to get a pilot project here going, either in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, or any of the other Emirates. And from there on out, you want to focus on local production, really can bring the cost down and scale up really.
And also add value in the local market.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It needs to become like a no-brainer on the financial side as well, right?
Yeah. Okay, that sounds very solid. You have a solid business model. I hope that you are able to find this partnership locally, but with your presence and your connections with Globally, Ibis Power should be enabled to do this. I wish you a lot of luck.
Thank you so much.
I want to thank you for this interview. It's been great to have a discussion with a youngster as well,
Thank you so much.
because there are so many people with a lot more experience here, but it's time for the young people to make these changes, and I'm happy that you are also doing that here. So thanks again.
Thank you so much.
And everybody at home or wherever you are, thank you for listening to the Abu Dhabi Transparency House. We'll be waiting for our next guest, which will be in an hour or so. Thank you very much.